Do, 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 do. You may hear my daughter in the background playing piano there.
I was going to ask about that. Who was playing?
He has a concert coming up. All right. So the Aussie CAD, not quite giving us what we need there, is it?
No.
Does look a little bit interesting long on the H4, but the M30 is saying no. And the H1 is too close to the 200, so I'm going to leave that one alone. Now the Aussie, for some of you who are new to the Aussie, can move very quickly, gang. Okay, so you could see a huge spike on here if we get, both of them are really good news and both of them are really bad news. We could get a huge spike. If we get mixed news, usually the unemployment rate wins out long term. Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit defensive and cautious tonight. The Aussie USD is trying to move down. That's interesting. It's not really there. All right. Actually, that was the Aussie New Zealand. Aussie US is moving up. Interesting. Kind of stuck in the 200 on H4 though. Interesting. The 200 is kind of getting close to it up above too. So I'm gonna look somewhere else. Aussie Swiss not giving us anything.
The Aussie seems to be gaining everywhere except New Zealand.
The Aussie, say that again.
The Aussie is gaining somewhat everywhere except New Zealand. Only New Zealand is gaining on the Aussie.
I gotcha. Okay. So the Aussie yen not really giving us what we need. Yuck. All right. Let's check the Euro Aussie. It could be a sell coming up here. Not great confirmation though. All right. Okay. We'll keep an eye on that. Not a great setup at all, gang. Euro AUD. Support at 1.59183. Okay. And that could, it's not really a great range there. About 12 pips to begin with, and then down to the 200. So if it goes all the way down to the 200, that's a nice range. That's about 24 pips. But it has second support at 1.59063, and third support down to 200. Okay. So it's a little bit interesting. It's about 10 pips away from our first support line there. If we get good news, that could be somewhere we go. Pound Dodge is not giving us anything. No good setups, gang. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we need to be very careful about trading this right now. Stop that. There you go. Okay. We need to be very careful about trading this. Check the strength indicator here. So the Aussie's a little bit strong. New Zealand is very strong, actually. It's interesting. All right. I don't see much that I'm really interested in, gang. What's the euro doing? It's trying to gain some strength here. Hmm. Well, Pound Aussie does have some long bias in the H1 and H4. So that could be where we go, but we're not getting any long signals on the M30 whatsoever. So let's keep an eye on the Pound Aussie. GBP AUD resistance at 1.83290. Okay. Has some nice room to roam to the upside if we can get the signals moving up there. Has all kinds of room to roam. Yeah, it's got about 70 pips. So if we get bad news for the Aussie, we'll take a look at that Pound Aussie there. In fact, because it's so far away, I'll go ahead and put a very conservative buy stop on that Pound Aussie because the signals are not there yet. Okay.
It's pretty widespread on it right now.
What's the spread on that?
3. I just wanted to.
Yeah, I got 2 on mine, Bill.
Yep.
And I'm going to do a very conservative buy stop here, gang. Just extraordinarily conservative. GBP AUD buy stop at 1.83447. And I'll start with a 20 pip target. Okay. So that's well away. I mean, it's 30, 40 pips away from where the price is now. So no real danger of triggering. But that Aussie could spike, right? So, okay, whoever's on the phone getting some background noise there. Trying to see a good news Aussie trade, and I just don't see anything that I'm just really enamored of, gang. I just don't see anything that I just think, oh, that's fantastic. Maybe the Euro Aussie. So, all right. If it's good news, we'll look at the Euro Aussie. If it's bad news, we'll look at the Pound Aussie. So you should have the Pound Aussie. I have the Pound Aussie in. We got 1 minute, less than a minute left here, and we'll see. We'll just see. Remember, if it's split news, the unemployment rate will usually win out over time. Okay? News is coming out. Looks like it's good news for the Aussie. I'm not seeing, oh, big move on the Euro Aussie there. Right down to 200. Anybody see the number yet?
21.6.
That's decent. It's not fantastic. Oh, the unemployment rate dropped 0.1%. So that's really good news.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So we should see some Aussie strengthening here, gang.
Get rid of that Pound Aussie.
Yeah, cancel that Pound Aussie. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Aussie CAD is bouncing out to 20 nicely. All right, so you know when we have these, so these are the spikes that I was talking about before the news hit, gang, okay? But now our job is to wait. Our job is to wait and wait for the proper entry points for these pullbacks because we get, again, 75% of the time you'll get pullbacks from these big spikes, right? So we'll have to come back. Pound Aussie is trying to move. You know what? I think I'll stick with that Pound Aussie here. Yep. Yep. All right. Here's what I'm going to do, gang. GBP AUD support at 1.82589. Okay. Second support down at 1.82. 0.073. So nice range, about a 50 pip range there. Nice looking MACD. We need the 8 and the 20 to turn down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not great support on the H1 and H4 though, unfortunately. But we have plenty of room to wait on that, about 40 pips to wait. I don't see anything that I really just have to be involved in, okay? That Euro Aussie is too range bound. You only have about 12 pips between. Okay, I got to put you guys on mute. I'm getting too much background noise. Hold on. All right, that's better. All right. So the Euro Aussie, it's right at our support level. You see it spiked right down to 200, gang, and now we're getting that retracement that I was talking about, right? The reason why I'm holding up on this is only a 12 pip range here. And that's not really what I want to look at for right now. Decent signals, though. The 8, the 20 is coming down. The MACD is giving a nice signal there. So if you want to play that range, it's your own decision whether or not 12 pips is worth that risk or not, right? When it comes to the other Aussie pairs, the signals just aren't there yet, all right? Aussie CAD is not there yet, retracing. The Aussie New Zealand is trying to turn up, gang. It's trying to turn up. That could be a possible trade for you. But not, see the 200 is keeping a lid on the H4. Yeah, don't like it. Do not like it. Aussie dollars having trouble with the 200. Aussie Swiss, really range bound, too much noise there, right? And the Aussie yen, same thing with the 200. So this is why I didn't jump into any trades. We didn't have the proper setups. And sometimes not trading is equally as valuable as trading, right? Positive trades, I should say. So yeah, I'm going to wait, gang. I'm going to sit and wait on this pound Aussie. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put in a sell stop here. Going to put in a sell stop. And I'll give it to I'll give this a few hours. GBP AUD. Sell stop 1.822551. And I'll start with a 20 pip range on that. Okay. I will give that probably till about, I'll give it, let's say 3 hours. 3.5 hours. So I'll check it at 9 p.m. Mountain Time. If it hasn't gotten closer, or if it hasn't moved the right direction, I will close that trade and live the trade another day. But I don't like what I'm seeing on trading other pairs, gang. Okay? It's just the other pairs, yeah, they're spiking, but they're not giving us what we need to see signal-wise, which means we don't trade. That's the discipline. And we're seeing that retracement on just about all of them from the spikes that we knew would happen, right? So I'm going to leave that pound Aussie trade in for about 3.5 hours. If it can't trigger. If not, I'll cancel that and sleep well. We already made some nice pips this morning on the Canadian, so it's been a successful day. Okay? Looking out towards next week, what do we got? Press conference tomorrow on the ECB. No trading then, right? Too volatile. Friday's completely dead. Monday's completely dead. We do have some Aussie news Tuesday night, so that's good. We'll trade that. Okay. Wednesday, FOMC, but nothing else. My goodness. Thursday, we're back in the saddle for GDP for Canada. And Friday, we're back in the saddle for non-farm and unemployment for USD. Okay. So a little bit of a slow week next week, but busier than this week. All right, again, keep an eye on that pound Aussie like I am. If you have any questions, type them into the Skype group. Otherwise, have a great evening. I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye now.
Have a good one.
Next week.
Have a good one.